felt something in my stomach twist. Maybe it was just a mother's nerves, or maybe it was something deeper. Either way, I couldn't shake it. My daughter, Lily, looked beautiful, radiant even, the kind of bride who made everyone turn their heads, but behind her smile, I saw something that only a mother would notice. A hesitation, a flicker of doubt. Her groom, Jason, stood at the altar, tall, handsome, every bit the charming young man he'd always presented himself to be. He was polite, said all the right words, had a firm handshake, and treated everyone like he was born to be admired. But that was just it. He loved to be admired. He craved it. I used to think maybe I was being too protective. After all, Lily was 27, smart, independent, and kind. She'd been through heartbreak before I wanted her to finally have peace. When Jason came along, he swept her off her feet. Flowers, compliments, grand gestures, he made her feel seen. But over time, those grand gestures turned into control. He'd say things like, "You don't need to wear that. It's too revealing." Or, "I don't like when you hang out with your coworkers so much." And Lily, ever the peacemaker, would nod and change quietly. The night before the wedding, she came to my room, pale as a ghost. "Mom," she whispered, sitting on the edge of my bed, "I don't think I can do this." My heart stopped. "Then don't," I said immediately. "It's not too late." But she shook her head. "The invitations are out, people flew in. It's too late to back out now." I wanted to tell her it's never too late to walk away from something wrong, but her father had just spent our savings on the reception, and I saw the exhaustion in her eyes. She wasn't just scared. She was sick. The stress had taken everything out of her. On the day of the wedding, she looked beautiful, but weak. Her hands trembled as she held her bouquet. Jason didn't notice. He barely looked at her as she walked toward him. His attention was on the crowd, smiling proudly like a politician greeting voters. When they kissed, the guests cheered. I forced myself to smile, clapping with everyone else. But deep inside, I felt it. The quiet dread that something terrible had just begun. At the reception, Jason barked orders at the staff, complained the wine wasn't premium enough, and made snide jokes about how my husband finally got something right, paying for it. People laughed awkwardly. That night, after the dancing and the fake smiles, Lily disappeared to the bathroom. She was gone for almost 20 minutes. When she came back, her face was pale, her lipstick smudged, and her smile gone. "Are you okay, honey?" I whispered. She nodded weakly. "Just tired, Mom. I'll be fine." But she wasn't fine. She was getting sick. Really sick. And Jason didn't care. When I suggested they postpone their honeymoon so she could rest, he scoffed. "She's fine," he said. "Don't baby her. We've got plans." The way he said it, cold, dismissive, made my blood boil. I looked at Lily, who was sitting silently beside him, staring out the window of their car as they left for the airport. That's when I saw it. The first tear fall down her cheek. And I knew my daughter had just married a man she didn't really know. But what I didn't know then was that within 24 hours, my husband would come face to face with Jason's true nature, and everything would explode. Tell me your reaction in the comments. Hit like and subscribe so you're here when part 2 drops. The morning after the wedding, my phone buzzed before sunrise. It was a message from Lily. "We landed, feeling really sick. Don't tell Dad, I'll call later." I read that message over and over. Something about it didn't feel right. My daughter never hid things from me. Not like that. And the way she said, "Don't tell Dad," it was almost as if she was scared of how he'd react. But the truth? She was scared of how Jason would react. A few hours later, I called her. No answer. I texted again, no reply. Then, late that night, she finally picked up. Her voice was trembling. "Mom, he's mad at me." "Mad? For what, sweetheart?" I told him I needed to rest. I couldn't keep up with the schedule he planned. He said I'm ruining everything, that I'm already acting like an old woman. I gripped the phone tighter. "You're sick, Lily. You need to go to a doctor." "I tried," she said softly. "But he wouldn't let me. Said I'm just trying to get attention." That was the moment my heart broke. The moment I realized this wasn't just arrogance anymore. It was control. When they came back 2 days later, Jason walked into our house like he owned the place. He didn't even help Lily out of the car. I rushed outside, ready to hold my daughter, but she brushed past me quietly, her eyes red and tired. Jason followed behind, talking loudly on his phone about deals, commissions, and clients. He didn't even look at her. Later, at dinner, he started telling me how things were going to be now. "Lily's moving out of her job next month," he said casually. "She doesn't need to work anymore. I'll take care of the finances." He said it while cutting his steak, like it was already decided. My husband, Tom, raised an eyebrow. "You sure that's her decision?" Jason smirked. "I'm her husband now. We make decisions together." He said together, but the way he said it sounded more like, "I decide, she obeys." The rest of the meal was painfully quiet. Lily barely ate. After dinner, she excused herself to go lie down. Jason didn't even ask if she was okay. He leaned back in his chair and started talking about how generous our side of the family had been with the wedding gifts. He even hinted that he planned to invest some of the money. That was when Tom's patience finally cracked. "You mean the money that came from our guests?" he asked sharply. Jason shrugged. "We're family now. What's yours is hers, and what's hers is ours." Tom stood up. "Not when you're stealing from her." The air in the room changed, thick, electric. Jason glared at him, his voice turning cold. "You better watch your tone." I saw it then. The mask slipping, the fake charm gone, the real Jason standing there, angry and cruel. Before I could step in, Lily appeared in the doorway, her voice trembling. "Stop," she whispered. "Just stop." But Jason turned on her too. "You always run to your parents when you can't handle being an adult." That was enough for Tom. He stepped forward and gave Jason a light shove, not to hurt him but to push him back. Jason stumbled, caught himself, and then suddenly lunged. He shoved Lily against the wall so hard that a picture frame fell and shattered. Everything froze. Tom grabbed him, shouting, "How does that feel, huh?" Before I could scream, Jason's father, who had arrived to pick him up, stormed into the room and tackled Tom in a chokehold. It was chaos. Yelling, glass breaking, Lily sobbing. I don't even remember pulling them apart, only the sound of my own voice screaming, "Get out of my house!" And then the silence that followed. When the door finally slammed shut, I found Lily sitting on the floor, shaking uncontrollably. Her lip was bleeding, and all she kept saying was, "Mom, I should have listened. I should have listened." That night, she didn't sleep, neither did I. The next morning, we went to her apartment, and it looked like a stranger lived there. Half her things were missing. Her bank account? Already half empty. Jason had taken it. The gift money, the savings, everything he could get his hands on. It was no longer just heartbreak. It was betrayal. And when Lily filed for divorce, he didn't just fight back. He dragged her name through the mud, turning every lie into a weapon. But what he didn't know was that karma was already on its way. Tell me your reaction in the comments, hit like, and subscribe so you're here when part 3 drops. The divorce took a full year. A year of courtrooms, paperwork, lawyers, and endless lies. Jason fought for everything, the furniture, the car, even the wedding gifts. He wanted to destroy her emotionally and financially, piece by piece. But Lily didn't break. She didn't scream or fight dirty. She just went quiet, and in that silence, something inside her began to change. She moved back home, humiliated and heartbroken. There were nights I'd find her sitting in her old bedroom, staring at her wedding photo, the one where Jason was smiling proudly, and she was smiling faintly, almost like she already knew. Sometimes she'd whisper, "How did I miss it, Mom? How did I not see who he really was?" And I'd say, "Because you believed in love. That's not a weakness, sweetheart. That's your strength." But what she did next, that's when I realized just how strong she really was. Lily decided she wasn't going to be a victim. She wanted her life back. Lily packed her bags quietly. No big announcement, no dramatic farewell, just a simple sentence at breakfast one morning. "Mom, I think I need a change of air." Her voice was calm, but I knew what she meant. She wasn't running away. She was healing. She found a job posting online for an administrative role at a multinational healthcare company based in Switzerland. At first, I thought it was too far, too risky, but she smiled and said, "Mom, maybe distance is exactly what I need. A fresh start where no one knows my story." When she boarded that plane, she looked fragile, still recovering from heartbreak. But when she landed months later, she started sending photos of quiet cobblestone streets, snow-tipped mountains, and warm coffee shops where she'd sit after work. Slowly, her messages changed too. The sadness faded. She began writing about the people she met, the projects she worked on, the confidence returning to her voice. It was as if the farther she went, the closer she came to finding herself again. In her new office, Lily was known for her kindness and work ethic. She started helping organize community programs, health awareness events, volunteer drives, mentorship sessions. She became the woman everyone could rely on. And one day, during a company project meeting, she met Daniel. He was a project manager from Brooklyn, visiting for a 6-month collaboration, polite, easygoing, with a quiet sense of humor that reminded me of her late grandfather. Their friendship began with simple coffee breaks, shared jokes, and long walks after work. But unlike Jason, Daniel didn't rush her. He didn't demand, he just listened. He saw her for who she really was, not someone to control, but someone to cherish over time. Their connection deepened. When Lily came home for Christmas that year, she couldn't stop talking about him. Her eyes sparkled in a way I hadn't seen in years. And when she returned to Switzerland, Daniel followed. He said, "I've spent my life chasing promotions. Maybe it's time I chase peace." 2 years later, they both transferred to the U.S. division of the company, in Chicago. And one evening, on a quiet bridge overlooking Lake Michigan, Daniel got down on one knee. When she called me that night, her voice was trembling with joy. "Mom," she said softly, "I said yes. But this time, I know what love really feels like." I cried, not from sadness, but from relief. Because my daughter had finally found someone who didn't just love her, he respected her. When they came home for the wedding, the energy was completely different. There were no arguments, no hidden tension, just laughter, sunlight, and a peace that filled the air. Even the way Daniel looked at her, it was the kind of gaze every mother hopes her daughter will find one day. During the ceremony, as Lily walked down the aisle again, I caught her glance. She smiled, truly smiled, and mouthed, "Thank you, Mom." I knew what she meant, for standing by her, for trusting my instincts, for helping her walk away before it was too late. After the vows, as the music played and guests cheered, I stood in the corner, watching them dance. The girl who once sat crying in her old bedroom was now radiant, confident, and free. Lily had found it, peace, love, and a life that finally belonged to her. It's not your job to fix someone who keeps breaking you. It's your job to walk away, so you can heal, grow, and let the right kind of love find you. Never ignore your gut. It knows what your heart's afraid to admit. Because sometimes, walking away isn't losing. It's finally choosing yourself. Enjoyed this? Hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe for the next chapter.